In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Doing good, man. Welcome back, friends, family, potential future enemies, to another pointless automotive podcast. Chadwick and
A differently lit Frank.
Frank with some dramatic mood effect lighting
Mhm.
tonight. If you are watching Plug on our podcast on YouTube, check it out, please.
Don't. I mean, do, but not for me. Not for like the way the lighting situation is.
It's like OnlyFans. There's a little. God, what else is there? It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of someone turned the contrast bar up really high. It's good. It's good stuff, guys. You
I
gotta,
don't
you gotta
know. I
tune in
feel
and see
more. I
this.
feel. I feel exposed. I don't know. I don't know. Which
That's
but
be-
again,
that's
back to
below
the
the
OnlyFans.
table. Yeah,
Should we
yeah, yeah.
do? We should. We've always talked about doing the whole Patreon thing and stuff. But what if we did? What if we instead of Patreon we did OnlyFans? And the bonus
Oof.
is that listeners could use our podcast as an excuse for why there's like a $78 a month bill on like credited to
Oh.
OnlyFans on their bank account.
So
right?
we'll vouch for you guys.
Yeah,
Hear
well,
that?
we
We'll
would
go-
charge like 78 cents a month. But like, oh, it must. You could be like, oh, you caught that. It must be a clerical error. Look at these guys. I'm actually just only getting feet and butthole pics. But we can be your cover. We can be your beard.
Yeah, this is like protection, effectively, mob protection.
Yeah.
Good Lord, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
On that note,
we should pitch that, but we have a topic today. Something
Allegedly.
to talk about. Yeah. so in the shitter, I came up with this awesome idea today.
Yeah.
So guys, when we go somewhere else, a foreign country, tell me as a car enthusiast that you don't snap pics and just drool over the cars that we don't have back home. And it's something I do. I always fantasize about, man, even if it's like badged slightly different with a weird name, I still want it.
Yes.
Even though it's the same vehicle, right? And especially if it's a ridiculously funny name, or the badge is slightly different, or anything like a different bumper. But anyway, this episode is called Tourist Car Collecting. Now, this is, Frank, we're going to go through this exercise. We're going to pick a country, a locale, nation state, whatever, loosely affiliated.
San Marino.
Yeah, there we go. It's one of the smallest countries in the world.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're going to pick one of those, and we're going to each pick. We have only one choice of a car we get to take home as a tourist, bring back to our homeland, the United States of America, celebrating a birthday tomorrow.
Yes.
Spoiler-
At time
spoiler-
of recording.
Spoiler alert. But yeah, that's the whole getup today, man. So
It is.
I say we do this. Also, historical cars are cool. It doesn't have to be something that's being manufactured now, and it can be something available in that market that isn't necessarily manufactured there. But
Fair.
we kind of want to lean towards that. Should we start easy? I think we'd start easy. Just like the smooth Miller
Detroit?
Lite. The smooth Miller Lite is so goddamn easy.
We're going Detroit first.
We can.
Do you remember the was it Chrysler? It might have been Chrysler. Was the M&M commercial imported from Detroit?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, not even with your preloaded statement there. I was like, Dodge. It's gonna be something dodgy.
Yeah, I think it was Chrysler specifically.
So, why'd you go there, man? Why'd you go to Detroit? And what the hell are you taking home?
And this feels
Ooh.
like a cop out region of the world, but it isn't, because so last year, not this year, but 2024, I did Radwood Detroit.
Mhm.
And what's unique about Radwood Detroit is you end up finding there's cars that show up there that do not exist in other parts of the country,
Right.
which is weird because of the amount of rust that is in Detroit. Like, you would
Sure.
think every Survivor American car, like your K car, your Pontiac 6000
Wagon.
STE wagon,
Yep.
your whatever Chevy Corsica would only still be in California or New Mexico, or a very dry place.
Mhm.
But that's not the case, because Detroit being Detroit, there's a lot of those cars that ended up in the hands of family members or former employees or current employees of the Detroit auto world, where there were family discounts and it was a point of pride to buy something that was made in your hometown, which I very much get, even though I don't own a Tesla because reasons. But so with that in mind, and being that this doesn't have to be a new thing for me, there's a lot of good options. The knee-jerk thing that popped into my head was and I don't know why, but Chevy Beretta C26.
Those are so damn cool.
They're cool. I saw a very clean base Beretta last night.
God,
A teal base Beretta, just street parked.
Wow,
in Walnut Creek.
That's an interesting person.
Yeah, just presumably dailying it.
Didn't say it was positive or negative. Just obvious statement.
Choices were made.
Yeah.
So I'm going, and it's not the best thing, certainly. There's a lot of late 80s, early 90s American stuff that was actually pretty okay. In a sea of garbage, there was some stuff that was pretty good.
Right. Agree.
You know, the Olds 44 quad 442.
Oh, dude,
is right there.
So damn cool.
How about you? What is your Detroit survivor or not?
Or not?
Like, what's your Detroit import export?
I've been a little weird lately about this car. Not just weird in general. That's a given. That's a fucking given.
Fleshlight is not a car, sir.
It's a feature. It's a common feature I've installed on every car.
Bugs and features.
So Detroit, I think muscle, but I want to go modern muscle. And this is a car the prices are pretty agreeable right now, and I don't know what's going on. I could see some long-term value in it, but I just want it because I want to be a fucking complete hooligan in this thing. I want
something
SRT8 Challenger manual, and I want it in probably plum crazy or that.
You going early? You going like 09, 10?
Yeah. Oh yeah. With the 6, I'll take a 6.1. I'll take
original.
A 490 or 392 if I have to with the 6.4. But I love those 6.1s. They're really easy to work on. Pretty stout. 425 horsepower, 425 torque. I like how they look. I think the first design just killed it. I think that car looks good. It's got a 6-speed manual. It's rear-wheel drive. I kind of feel like that's a really cool car to hold on to. And they're trafficking like mid-20s. To me, that's a lot of fucking car. I had the Magnum SRT8, which is the exact same power plant. And I always felt like that was held back a little bit by that Mercedes gearbox. Good gearbox, good stout. Yeah. Like it takes the
that
power
gearbox was in everything.
Everything. They got their dollar value out of that. But there was like having a manual with that power. I already drove like a fucking maniac in it. Give me 3 pedals and row my own gearbox, and I'm just gonna have a great every time you take that car out, it'd be a blast. So, dude,
that's
it's kind of and they come in great colors. There's so many.
It's funny you said plum crazy, which is a traditional Mopar icon color. So I'm absolutely in support of that. When I picture those early SRT8 Challengers, they're always Hemi orange in my mind.
And that's good.
Hemi
that was
orange.
The launch. Remember how big that launch was?
Oh, yeah. The big, wide 5-spoke wheels. The quad headlight-ish. It's not a true quad, but it's like they made it look like one. The big light bar in the rear.
That's kind of in Detroit. I think that speaks to Detroit. I think I walk out of there with that car. And I'd be so... I really want one anyway. I can't justify it, but I want one of those, Frank. They're just... It's a cool car.
You can. I feel like you can just like the back seats are big enough.
Yeah,
and they're like it's not a family car. But as someone who, I'm trying to figure out what year I was like 12 when we finally got a minivan. Growing up, but before that, I grew up in an '82 Toyota Celica GTS. Or GT with S package. It wasn't badge GTS at the time. And a 79 Accord hatch.
Yeah.
And so for the first 12, 13, 14 years of my life, that was the family car. Me and my brother and both of my parents. That's what we drove around. We took the Celica everywhere, and we took it camping, and we'd go to and that was life. And we just had, those were our two cars. We didn't have a sedan. We didn't have an SUV or a crossover or mini, like.
And I put some mileage on that Magnum. That thing had a little more functionality,
And that's way more practical.
Yeah, absolutely. But that 6-speed gearbox,
manual.
If the manual is in the Magnum, that's the no-brainer, right? Get that one all day. But I do think those early Challengers have aged extremely well. I think that's a car you hold on to a 10,000 mile one of those, and you hold on to it for 20 years. I think that's a car that comes back with some big value, just because. They didn't make as many manuals.
They're pretty stout, especially as you said, the 6.1s are pretty stout. They're not wiping cams like the.
I mean, mine did, but hey,
sure,
at like 100 and whatever thousand miles, but
yeah. But they're a known entity too, right? It's not some exotic car where if something breaks, you can't fix it.
It wasn't even that expensive, man. And I had the heads off and slide the new cam in there, no problem, dude. New lifters. I put the Hellcat lifters is what the revised lifter is, so better oil spread in action there. But I don't know, man. I think that'd be in the little strip of color that they put on the seats to match the exterior paint. Just it has a lot of little things I appreciate and love. It's that period, early to mid 2000s, where it's not like infotainment screens. It's just simple. It'll never look shitty. It just, I don't know. It just, to me, it really talks to me.
I feel like that's a car that begs subtle mods.
Yeah.
What would, in my mind, I would find a way to do like 17 or 18-inch color match steel wheels with like poverty cap, like from like in like a 70 or 71
that
style,
would make
but
the car look like an old car,
so
like
sick.
Instantly, right?
Yeah. What would you do?
Open up the exhaust. I think it's pretty corked up from the factory, and they sound good when you open them up. Probably some headers, carb legal headers.
Hella
if
flush.
I had to, yeah. No.
But headers, make it breathe, make it sound good.
Best maybe sway bars,
lumpy cams,
suspension. Yeah, maybe throw a cam in that bad boy. They really take well to mods. Those 6.1s are pretty beefy. But yeah, just even as they are, it's so much fun. Yeah. It's enough power. To get into trouble.
Yeah, which is why, because I remember when that car came out, two things in my head, because I was still in the throes of my Mopar era world, right? I was like, oh, we need these cars to depreciate it. I'm getting one, right? Thinking that they would make that generation Challenger for like 4 or 5 years, which they didn't do, right? That's the hardest problem with those early cars, is the late ones are a thing. Yeah, and you can get a late one for more, but not a lot more. But like at my time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna wait till they depreciate. I'm getting SRT8. It's gonna be sick. That's like the dream car for me at the time. And so like that's like my main takeaway was like this is something I'm going to own one day. But yeah, they made them for so long where it's just like they had the Hellcat and the Hellcat Red Eye and the Hellcat Red Eye Jailbreak and the Hellcat Red Eye Jailbreak Final Edition and the Hellcat Red Eye Jailbreak Final Edition
wide body
self-lubricating wide body Jenko jeans,
Gapplebees,
exactly
all day.
Exactly. It's just and on, which is fine, but it kind of dilutes it a little bit. That's why the 350 370Zs kind of they're not as cool as they should be. Well, but I do think the early ones are pure, and I support you in your imported from Detroit.
Totally.
Detroit.
Japoit. Well, that you kind of almost said the next one, so let's keep it easy. Our second location in fucking 20 minutes. Let's go to the land of the rising sun, Japan. Frank, when I'm walking away, I've always been Mr. Legacy over Impreza guy when it comes to Subarus. It's the way I live my life, man.
The gentleman's.
Yeah. Whether it be a Legacy Spec B, which I loved my 07, the Subaru is an Impreza. I love it. It's a little churched up for an Impreza, so it gave me some Legacy vibes. Because Legacies have always, for me, been, it's always a touch above the Impreza. I think the Impreza is kind of stripped out, cloth interior. I like how the Legacy was always nicer. So
would you say it's more akin to a Galant VR4?
I agreed. Same,
Yeah.
right? Like a little
Mhm.
bigger, a little nicer, a little heavier, replaced by its little fucking more athletic brother. Go fuck
Sure.
yourself, Lancer. But yeah, no, same story, right? So for me, I love, and we talked about it earlier. The B4 Blitzens were always cool because the rear spoiler and the little Porsche design, not the Porsche car company, but like a Porsche design studio, right?
Hmm.
But there is one legacy, and I think I want to get this right. It's so we didn't have a turbo legacy of this generation, so it's 2002, the
Hmm.
ST401, the
Okay.
STI one, and it's
Yeah.
called STI S40. Gotta get this right one of these days. S401. So it's
Yes.
basically they shoehorned the modern, like the 2 liter
Hmm.
turbo engine, the EJ20, out of the STI Impreza into the
Right.
Legacy. And
Yes.
it's so good, dude. It's like,
Are those the ones where they have the like the little wonky spoiler in the
that's
back, or
the
is it the
B4
Blitzen?
Blitzen. Yep,
Yeah, it's
that's
the
the
Blitzen.
Blitzen. So this one it's all purpose built. It has everything on its
Sick.
STI, and it's just so fucking good, dude. And I know the Spec B got us pretty close to like an STI Legacy from the factory, or
Hmm.
yeah. So we never got one in the States, right? We got the Spec B was the spiciest model we got, and that still was.
Right.
It still had the 2.5 that was in all the other Legacy GTs. We didn't get the cool
Right.
different power plant, but we did get STI six
Correct.
speed, the Torsen 180 diff, and all that kind of fun stuff. Aluminum inverted, suspension components. But this one is legit built by STI. They're very rare. I
Hmm.
think they're how much are they? They got to be like 120, 130,000. They're like super pricey. But
Sure.
if I was to take one car to Japan, which is weird, right? I'm getting a Legacy, and it just,
Sure.
we never had a spicy version in that generation. I think that generation looks good. You know how they had the GTs here with the hood scoop and everything,
Yes.
and they
Hmm.
still look so good, so good. But we never got any kind of spice. It just had a naturally aspirated head gasket eating whatever engine. So
Yeah. Just yeah.
run of the mill head gasket chewer. Um,
Which
that's
because
my
which
car.
was funny because like the earlier legacies, I really like the styling a lot.
The more wedgy, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like the or no, even just like the late 90s.
Oh, okay.
Like the
That's
late
pretty similar to
90s.
this. This would be
It's
the
pretty
same.
similar, but these had I feel like this is a generation that had the slightly blobbier headlights, like
Yep.
more blob eye.
Yep.
I like those early ones where
Yeah,
you can
more
get with
narrow.
like the
They took away the
red
hood
with
scoop
like
for these
gold
ones. Yeah.
wheels.
Yeah.
GT. Yeah, those are
You
sick.
could get the SUS
Oh, the
version,
sus.
the SUS, which was like a little
Yes.
lifted sedan.
God, that
Cool
needs
as
to come
fuck.
back. It's like strong
No, we need to buy one
Eagle,
and just
AMC Eagle energy.
we need to WX swap it. That's all we need to. That would be
Yeah,
so fucking killer.
that'd be sick.
Ooh, that'd be killer. Could
Just
you imagine
STI
a
swap a
sus with a
sus.
and put a nasty blow off valve in there just
Well,
for
they
shits
made
and
they made
giggles?
you can get a sus in like the 050 in 0506, the generation after.
Yeah, not the same. Though. I like
They're
that
not the
early
same.
sus. That early
Yeah.
sus was sussing it up. But
Hmm.
that's my take, man. What are you taking back from the
Sussing is
land of the
awesome.
rising sun, dude?
So when I originally penned this out, I put
Mm.
in my default answer, which is the ST205 Senegal track,
Oh, yeah, good one.
which is great. But I've
Great car.
revised. I've revised Japan specifically a couple of times. The other one
Okay.
was just like, I want a cappuccino, but cappuccinos are eminently available here.
They're cool as fuck, though.
They're cool as fuck. They're
Mhm.
really cool to the point where my son is like, when are we getting a Suzuki cappuccino? And I'm like, I love you. Thank you. I don't know.
When are you gonna start pitching in, you little shit?
Exactly. Exactly. I've my in my third revision of the answer for Japan, because this is the one that took the most thinking and really absorbed all of my thinking. Any nation after this I'm going to be lost at sea for a little bit.
Mhm.
But I just mentioned how I grew up in an 82 Toyota Celica. That's the third gen Celica, the one with like the pop up or the flip forward headlights, the wedgie ones.
Yeah.
In Japan, I believe Japan. Oh, why? Excuse me. And I believe Japan only.
Mm.
They sold of that generation. They had a trim level which was very limited, and it was the Group B rally homologation car for that Celica.
Very cool.
Which the Group B Celica of that generation was like kind of porky and kind of overweight, rear wheel drive only, but like made huge power.
Mm.
And I think they won only the Africa events, like Dakar and wherever else they ran in Africa, but they were like not competitive everywhere else.
Oh, bummer.
They had the homologation version of that was called, I believe, the GTTS.
Mm.
And for homologation rules, they had to run the engine that they ran effectively detuned, but the same basic engine that they ran in the Group B rally car.
Nice.
Which was the 4TGTEU. U being the U stands for, I believe, Japanese emissions. And so it was a 2-liter turbocharged twin spark. So it was a 4-cylinder with 8 plugs.
Yep.
And I think from the factory in homologation guys, it made like 200 horsepower.
That is beefy for the
Which
time.
for the time was, huge. Meaty and beefy. And they had a 1.8 version of the same motor, the 3T GTEU, that we never got, but was available overseas. But the 2-liter was the homologation special, Japan only. I want to say they made whatever the bare fucking minimum was, like 1,000 or 500 or 200 or whatever the Group B minimum was. Very, very, very cool. And they're worth a lot of money because they any of the ones that are left were kept because they were limited. And so they're in good shape. But that's like the ultimate. That's like the ultimate of that generation Celica. And we never got it. And it's like a tried and true, not just like rally homologation, but like Group B, which was like, this is so dangerous, it kills people, so we're going to stop doing it. So that's the car I want. I want the Group B homologation.
Dude, that's sweet. Good fucking choice.
Doing it.
That would be something nice to take home, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And Group B myself into a tree or something. But yeah.
Of course. Or a bunch of people standing too close to the roadway.
Yes.
Not just for you, Mustang.
Yeah, exactly. Joke's on you.
I could do it too. Group B did it first. Where should we go next? Should we go to
North Korea?
Horrible.
No.
Horrible.
God, I don't know.
How about England?
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool stuff coming out of the United Kingdom. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going right off the rip, dude. No questions to be asked.
Oh, really?
It's got to be a mid-90s Escort RS Cosworth. Every day of my life. I fucking love those things. I don't know what it is. We got the shaft for European Ford for so long, dude. But these vintage rally cars, the forbidden fruit we never got. I know we got hints, right? Like the Escort GT, a little hint there. Your Focus SVT, a big hint there. Probably the spiciest hot hatch we got. And then, of course, the Fiesta and Focus STs really were the doors opening for the first time. And that's why I jumped on the Fiesta ST. Such an early adopter. The Focus RS to a higher extent. These guys are gnarly, dude. They were like all-wheel drive. I think it's a 2-liter. Obviously heavily massaged by Cosworth. I want to say they're making like WRX power, like that 220 to 230 land. Yeah, somewhere right in there. Same torque. These things just look killer. One of the coolest, like roof level biplane kind of crazy ass spoilers you can get on a car. I love the proportions. It just, to me, like Ford Escort blockiness from that period is so good, dude. These things dominated in motorsports, and they're super pricey. The RS Cosworths are very much collector items, but I would just, I wouldn't beat on it too hard, but I would take that thing on canyon runs just to keep it exercised.
Sure.
You really can't ask for much more. They were really light cars, and that's a good power number. I don't know. That's just kind of, if I think European hot hatch Ford, that's right where my mind goes. Oh
no, those
so good, dude.
That's the thing about Ford is very frustrating because in kind of the best ways, because Ford Europe had some like really, really, really cool shit.
Killer
that
stuff.
we know. And I mean GM2 to a certain extent, right? With
their global stuff,
with like Opals and random shit. But like I think the most forbidden fruit that was over there. That was like a U.S. manufacturer, but in Europe, it was the Ford stuff.
Mhm.
Your RS 200s and
Oh, well, that's a different level
it's
right
like
there.
super spicy. But
Yeah.
even just like spicy Monteos and
Sure. Contour
like
SVTs, you mean? Oh,
right, exactly. Um, but yeah, no, that's really good, and like hot hatches that we never got,
Oh,
and even
so
like
good.
my
Arr.
SVT R.
His pirate edition.
Yeah, we should get a pirate edition,
Oh,
Pirate Bay edition. Um, like I think over there they made like almost 200 horsepower versus here or whatever, but like
Yep.
um,
Mm.
I'm not gonna pick Ford.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
for me for UK, I decided I want like UK.
You going
Have
like
you
Rover products? You going
have you ever seen the movie Swordfish?
of
Not a good
course.
movie.
It had some scenes. It had some scenes.
TVR. Yeah, well, sure.
Had some
Holly
scenes.
Berry's in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her and the twins.
yeah, exactly. Um, I thought about making like a bring a trailer burner account just called Big Naturals, and I just like comment about my big naturals on other
Oh,
people's
I
auctions.
thought you were gonna sell away full size sedans or something.
Yeah, I should. Yeah,
Big natural.
Big Naturals. Yeah.
Oh, that kind of
It's
works.
only
I might
yeah, it's
stick.
only like whale oil lubed Bentleys or whatever.
I don't know any other kind.
Well, that's the big and the natural. So, no, in that movie, famously, I don't remember, but like that, like almost Mystachrome ish color, green purple, TVR Tuscan.
Yep.
Very, very cool car. That's a
God, it's cool.
2-seater,
That'll
crazy front end, like spider eye looking thing.
no driver aids.
No,
You're picking cars. That's like their version of a Dodge Viper, if I remember correctly. Or it's like
sort
even
of.
yeah, it kind of is. It's like because the Viper was
Yeah,
a take on the Cobra. So
yeah. It was like
so
the
it's a
modern
if
Cobra.
the the uh
Hmm.
the Tuscan was essentially one of those. I think the Cerberus was too, if I remember correctly. Either way,
Yeah, the
you've
Cerberus had a V8, and I believe the
yeah.
Tuscan had a like a bespoke. Like they made their own. I'm sure it was based on something else, but they made their own inline six. It was like 300 horsepower or something, 350 horse inline six.
Yeah, super
Um,
lightweight car though, if I remember correctly though.
lightweight, crazy looking. And I think bear with me. Peak TVR, which
Yeah,
is, I
no.
mean,
And that's
sure.
early Top Gear too, which coincided with it.
Yeah,
So
that helped.
that
That
was
helped for
cool.
sure.
Bro, you're picking
TVR.
you picked a Group B rally car and a fucking TVR. You got a
Hey,
death
hey.
wish, son?
Yes.
Damn. Frank is
Yes.
living dangerously on this game. No, those things are impossibly cool. Yeah, you're right. Mr. Chrome is the way to go. That is so sick, dude. They were on Gran Turismo too, the old Gran Turismo games.
Yeah,
You could
yeah,
drive
yeah.
those bad boys.
I'm playing through Gran Turismo 4 on my old PS2 with my son right
Very
now.
nice.
And
Yeah.
we're still pretty early. I'm fighting to get him across the finish line without me helping him on the his first license, the B license.
Oh,
So
it's so
we'll see
hard.
what we can do. I know. We're almost there. But yes, if I'm going to England, I want a TVR.
Cool choice, man. I didn't even think that. Yeah, I went classic Ford hot hatch. Dude, let's swap cars halfway through whatever drive that is, because that'll be both those cars, killer
Very
cars.
killer, very different.
Yeah, very, very different.
Wildly different.
Very fun cars though. Um, I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. You want to do something weird? You want to go to like
Let's
we're
get
going
weird.
we're
Let's get
going to
weird.
Mexico, baby.
Oh
Um,
fuck. Okay.
I got a
right.
funny one. I got a funny one for you. It's a little weird. It's a little
What you
weird,
got?
but just check it out.
Dodge Ram Charger.
I love that one, but it's
Is
not
it?
it. The
Ah.
Nissan Suru
Oh
sold.
yeah.
So I loved. We both owned B13 Sentra SERs. This is the freshest B13 Sentra SER you can buy. Everything's practically new. They stopped making them in 2017, which is just. And they exactly the same. Except it's all fresh, right? It's like 20 years
26-year
newer.
run.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I really want one of those. You can still get it with the SR20, which was so cool that you could option that with a manual. Um, There's something about that. There's just something about having one of those. I think that would be such a cool car to drive home and have like a low mileage, clean condition. Because most B13 Sentra SERs are just
They get hurt.
they're really hurt. And they didn't
Yep.
age well. Dashes cracked, interiors were gone. But this car is only what, 8 years old?
So insane.
It's so cool. Like, just to say that, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do I rebadge it as a Sentra? Yeah, I do. I would put all the SER badges on it and be like the cleanest
So
one in the
sick.
fucking world. Yeah, that's
Imagine having one of those and you're like 17 years away from being able to import it.
you're right.
So insane.
It's so cool, but it's a story in itself. I think they were used mostly as taxis and other things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just the fact that it's I don't know. It's something about driving a very new B13 Sentra SER. It's just that's what I take home from Mexico, man. I know there's a lot of gray market stuff there, but boy, it's so cool, man. And you see them from time to time too, which is neat.
Yeah, I mean, I would bring other things I would bring back from Mexico would be avocados. Because of the commercials, avocados from Mexico. Although I haven't seen one of those commercials in a while, and maybe current events are impacting my avocado
Deported.
intake, which is a shame. Yeah, yeah. There's something unsavory about drawing a line at deporting avocados, but I'm gonna draw that line.
Yeah.
No,
Draw away.
at the aforementioned Ram Charger.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is basically a first gen Durango, except you eliminate the back doors. And
Yep.
you don't even have a bigger front door. You still have the same shorty front door with an enormous quarter panel. And then the rear hatch opens vertically, and it's a Dodge Caravan.
It's so
Hatch.
cool. Yeah, they look great though. They look really
They're-
cool.
They're bonkers.
Yeah.
They're weird. If you, I mean, I haven't been to Mexico in golly over a decade. But when I was down there, they were kind of ubiquitous. You would see them. I
mean,
saw them frequently.
honorable mention Mitsubishi Pajero, right? Because those are
Yep.
roaming around.
Two-door Pajeros. Are
Yeah,
sick.
I tried to stay with the product of Mexico with the Nissan there, but
Yeah,
Um,
that's good. What
Mm.
I would do is I'm going Konami code and I'm cheating.
Ooh.
I'm getting a GR Yaris
Oh, okay, very nice.
because we didn't get them. They sold them in Mexico. They weren't.
That's right.
They didn't pass DOT, so we never got them here.
Very cool.
But what's interesting is for any of y'all's near the border, you probably know this already, but if you don't, you can have a car registered in Mexico, and as long as it only spends 364 days per year in the United States and 1 day per year in Mexico, you're fine. You're great.
It's wild. Yeah.
You're great. So buy a I don't know, a homestead in Mexico for like $11. It could be a mailbox and like a 1 foot by 1 foot plot of land, and just register a bunch of crazy shit to Mexico and just like go visit your mailbox 1 day a year, and you're great.
This is the first time we've ever delivered sound financial advice to our listeners. This is somebody should mark
Yes.
this date.
Exactly. Mark it on the calendar.
Oh my god, dude.
But yeah, should we do this? Should we have an APA pod mailbox?
We
in
can't even
Mexico?
fix our own shit boxes in the US of A. Yeah, let's just actually.
But we can. Here's the thing:
we can
if we
just park
drive
shit
over the
there.
border, I think we can like find a great, less expensive mechanic on that side of the border.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
This
I don't know. We should get into it. We can get interiors done in TJ. I can effectively own a GR Yaris. I just have to drive it over the border 1 day a year.
Fair enough, dude. I think you're actually onto something. We should make that happen. I
Exactly.
do have a couple more
React.
shout outs. I got a couple of shout outs.
Honorable mentions.
Super quick. Germany.
Yes.
I don't know
What
how
you
we
got?
missed that.
What you got?
198 2.5 Evo 2.
Ooh, yeah, the Evo
Mercedes-Benz,
2,
yeah.
Evo 2 we never got. I had in my notes C43 wagon.
Very cool. Yep. Also
I want a
forbidden.
C43 wagon.
Forbidden fruit.
Mhm.
How about France? Because we're gonna go back to vintage hot hatches. How about if
have
we're
an
gonna go
answer.
big money? How about the Renault R5 Turbo? Those
I'm
things
going.
were-
Yes, I'm going
Whoa.
I'm going with the the younger son of that.
Oh,
Give me a Clio V6.
okay, very cool. Yeah,
A
the
Clio
Clios are
V6.
neat. Yeah, go trophy
Yeah.
if you want to go hardcore.
Mhm.
205 Peugeot would be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
There's so much like
Yeah.
French classic hot hatches are pretty damn amazing too. They're right up there with the Ford stuff, so
Hmm.
can't lose. But you had to mention those. This would be a fun game, man. It's always enticing to see these things and ooh, man, imagine if we actually pulled these cars home. Our garages would be fucking
I know our garage in Mexico would be
jacked.
sick.
Dude, so sick.
Yeah.
Parked
Yes.
around our mailbox on that square foot of a literal postage stamp of land.
And dear listener,
Hmm.
we definitely missed some shit. So
Yeah.
if y'all's have some better ideas, let us know. If you're playing along and watching the video, hit us up in the comments. Otherwise, send us terrible, nasty messages
I know.
via Instagram or whatever. But yeah, what did we miss? Let us
Yeah.
know.
And it is like it was personal. Like we all kind of picked what we personal taste aside, right?
Yeah.
But I bet you guys have some good ones. We want to hear about it. It's time to play a little game, Frank. Please explain to our listeners and viewers what we're about to
Yes.
do. I'll pull up a little something dangerous for you.
Oh boy, something dangerous. Which is probably fireworks because tomorrow's 4th of July, and I feel like losing fingers.
Count them now. Count them now.
Exactly. How many do I have? So, fingers aside, not inside. The way we play this game is Chadwick here in today's episode will read an ad for a car from the 80s, 90s to the mid 2000s. It will be upon me to guess successfully, hopefully, within 3 attempts, what make, model, and approximate year this ad is talking about. As I said, I get 3 guesses. I get 10-ish minutes. I can ask for hints if I get guesses wrong, but I won't. Please play along at home. And yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm ready. Hopefully you're ready. Chadwick, what you got for me?
Let's go, guys. We get a 2-page spread. It's a special day. You deserve it. Vehicle, subtle 3/4 driver side. Front.
Okay. Front. Okay.
Well lit. In the background is a man and a woman dressed very stylishly, like I would say business fun. Let's go with that.
Oh, biz cash.
They're leaning back and they're just observing this cool car we're going to talk about right now.
Bitchin'. Yeah.
The big tagline, welcome a new kind of blank to the street. Welcome blank. Ooh. So welcoming it to the street, that's the thing, I guess. All right.
Taking it to the streets.
A direct result of blank's worldwide resources and engineering expertise.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Blank was first introduced in. I leave the country out for now. It was a sales success.
Okay.
And there's no numbers to support that statement. It's just a statement.
It's old 9.
This is how print ads work, guys. And a design award winner. Doesn't say what does. That's very, very, very much a sweeping statement.
Sure.
Little wonder. It's a car that offers quick, maneuverable fun.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Blank. The fun starts at. Should I include the price, Frank? Fuck it.
Yeah.
$5,490.
Oh shit. Yes, it does start there.
Here's some tech specs for you nerds. Right. And it includes front-wheel drive, a 1.3 liter 4-cylinder engine, power front. Sorry, that's an insult not to include that.
Power front,
disc brakes, rack and pinion steering, high back cloth bucket seats, fold down rear seats, side window demisters. That's interesting.
Wait. It has features are side windows.
Demisters. I didn't include the demister. This is poor. This is of a poor quality. All standard. Or you may choose blank, a different trim level, which offers things like a 5-speed manual transaxle, tilt steering column, electronic AM/FM stereo.
What? Do you also get FM?
Dual electric remote control mirrors, rear window wiper and defroster, and more. And more is italicized. All for that price goes up, buddy. You're not ready for this. You ready to break the bank? $6,801 as shown.
Okay.
Blank, A World of Room Inside. Blank's hatchback design rates an interior volume index of 98.4 cubic feet, which means Blank is not only handy for carrying people. This is a good ad. There's some details, buddy. I know you're counting that square footage
I
and
am.
figuring out
I
what we're
am.
talking
I
about
am.
today. And cargo, but it's actually roomier inside than many cars that are larger on the outside. That is the dude, this is so broad, these statements. We'll stick with it.
The only
Blank.
thing I have to work with is hatch and 1.3.
Those are good things.
Optional 5 speed.
And that price is that's kind of puts you
Yeah.
in,
I mean, that nails down the time frame.
Yep. Blank, big inside, small outside, just like your mom.
Yep.
And
Yep.
fun all over. It's a whole new kind of blank.
Does it say
And,
fun all over?
It does.
Oh, God damn it.
That wasn't
Okay.
just me. That wasn't just my colorful.
You're talking
critique.
about my mom? Okay.
Yeah, I will. Hey. And a
You've
whole
met
new
my
way
mom,
to
God
greet
damn
the
it.
street. I have. I'm not going to say anymore. I can't talk about your mom like this. Blank, a bunch of warranty coverage, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Is there a phone number to call?
There is not. But that is the ad. I'm going to get 10
Boy.
minutes up for you, Frank. There's a lot. There was a lot of content there.
1 point. I mean, the biggest thing is 1.3. Boy. Could this be? I'm trying to think. This might be a second gen Civic. Because I know there was an optional 1500. Like you can get the Civic, like an 83 Civic 1500S.
Yep.
And I think the base, the base version, I think was a 1.3. The only other things I'm trying to think of that you can get with a 1.3, maybe an early Mazda 323, back when they only called it like the Mazda GLC or the 323 GLC. Maybe a Ford, like early Ford Fiesta / Festiva. We got it as a Festiva. I think maybe that was a 1.3 base. I can't think of the Tercel was a 1.5. Golly, and I can't think of anything domestic. Domestic was like, oh, we can't do fancy shit. So instead of making a 1.3 that makes 60 horsepower, we're gonna have a 2.2 that makes 60 horsepower.
That's exactly the domestic approach.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with, I think this is a second gen Honda Civic. I'm gonna say this is a 1982 Honda Civic 1300. Final answer.
This is not a Honda Civic, my friend.
Okay.
You're a little early.
Okay.
In your timeline there.
Okay.
A lot.
And you said it is not a Honda Civic.
It is not a Honda Civic.
Okay.
It is not a Honda.
Okay.
It is from at least 5 years later.
Okay. So we'll go late 80s, early 90s. Could it be? I mean, I mentioned the Ford Festiva. I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna dip my balls into this swimming pool, and I'm gonna say, yeah, which is hard to do if you think about it. You can't use the corner. Were you there? What? Quick tangent, and I know I'm on the clock, but were you part of that discussion about the concept of it might be impossible for a grown man to dip their dick and balls into a swimming pool without getting any other part of their body wet and not using the corner of the pool? I think about it. You think about that while I think about an answer here. Feel free to play along at
What's
home.
the ambient temperature and how high is the humidity? Because I got
as hot as you need it, baby.
I'm like a hang factor of 20. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. You gotta
drag brain.
You gotta go cat brain. I'm gonna go, speaking of cat brain, I'm gonna say this is a 1989 Ford Festiva. Final answer, Bob.
Welcome a new kind of Ford to the street. Welcome Ford
Let's
Festiva.
go.
1988 would be
Okay.
the Ford Festiva.
God, what a deal. And by deal, I mean bad economic
these weren't
decision
that bad.
necessarily.
These were way
No,
better
they were
than
definitely better than the
the
aforementioned
Aspire.
Aspire we talked prior
These are
ep.
these are cool. My buddy had one and he loved it, and it basically looked just like this with more shop
Yep.
paint. Good looking car, man.
Get the Shogun.
Oh yeah,
God,
right.
look how posh they are. They're
That's
like
what I'm
ready to
saying. They were
yeah.
business fun
God
casual.
damn it,
I don't know.
marketing. They're like, look, we're fun and youthful, but professional and
These are
wealthy.
good cars, man. Like my buddy got some killer fuel economy. Fold down the back seats, can put a lot of shit in it.
Sure.
I think these were cool, man. I think these were a lot cooler than they needed to be, and they were pretty reliable too. That 1.3 was
1.3.
decent. Yeah. Um, yeah, and he had a 5-speed manual, which I think made it a little more interesting.
Oh,
Um,
so he had the $6,800 version.
yeah, he went big.
Wow.
He definitely got it for like less than
Damn.
half of that. Trust me. He didn't buy a brand new.
I want to look it up. Okay, so what did you say the was?
The who MSRP?
The base MSRP, not the 6,800, the
5490.
5490. Okay, I want to look up adjusted for inflation. You said 1988?
Yep, 88.
Okay.
It's still going to be like
Inflation.
it's going to be like 12, right? 12
Oh,
something.
I bet you it's more than that. I bet you it's almost
You think
20.
so? No, like 14. 680.
Oh, wow. Bold choice. Okay, so we're going to go 1988. And I almost typed in 14,680. Okay, sorry. You said 5,000.
490.
Oh, God damn it. Why is this shit? Okay, 5,490. Wait, what was your prediction?
680.
It's 14,918. So you're off by $250
You're right.
effectively.
Yeah, you could argue that at the dealer.
Yeah. Yeah, well done.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. Yeah, you get an off sticker.
They'll pull a hubcap.
God. And what, like the base? What's the cheapest car in America you can buy new probably today is probably what?
Oh,
20?
What is the cheapest car right now? Because for the while it was the Mitsubishi Mirage. They don't make that anymore.
Which is gone.
Yep. Versa's been gone for a bit. Good questions.
Let's see.
I don't think we're getting close to that. It's got to be close to 20, right?
This says, this car just got canceled, but 2025 Nissan Versa S, which starts at 18,330 with a manual.
Yeah, it has to.
Last year they canceled it though.
It's manual wipers too. I think you have to reach out and pull a handle or something.
Yeah, I quit wiping years ago. Speaking of manual labor,
good job. Also, by the way,
thank you.
Your Ford Festiva knowledge base.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's I don't know. I can't monetize this information sadly. Have you speaking of manual labor and wiping? Have you been not wiping? I'm not going to ask you personal questions on the pod.
Should
that's for the late night edition, which is coming soon. Have you been turning wrenches? Have you been working on anything? Do you have any project car progress?
So I do. So I've been stealing an hour or so every once in a while to get out in the garage and work on that wonderful Geo tracker that I can't wait to get back like fully operational. So I started the basic underhood maintenance stuff, the valve cover gasket, spark plugs, wires, all that kind of fun stuff, which is usually very easy to do. It's kind of cathartic for me. It's really just it's easy. You can kind of zone out and do it. No, dude, this truck, this truck is what, 30 years, exactly 30 years old, right?
Yeah. Happy birthday.
So yeah, 30-year-old truck with low mileage. Guess what that means? Nothing's ever been touched. So I already said the time belt water pump was all original. That's not a big surprise, right? For low mileage, even though it's a fucking 30-year-old time belt. The cork valve cover gasket.
Let's go.
Fuck me, dude. Hard as a rock. And it's one of those ones. But you can't. It's pressed into the it has a insert, so it's pressed in and cork. So over time it's kind of squeezed up in there, and it literally was as hard as like, I don't know, like just cheap think cheap plastic. Yeah, hard. Give me a few minutes. I had to like carefully carve it out because it's a thin aluminum valve cover, but that cork gasket, and it was just like shattering, like dust all through everything. I was like, wow, that's completely original. The worst part, this has, remember the grommets, the brass and rubber grommets? Guess what they look like after 30 years? Where the bolts,
Mushroom City.
welded to the valve cover. And
Oh
you can't pry against
no.
an aluminum valve cover. So
Yeah.
basically, I had to use a tool, like I used an old rounded off nail, and I hammered the actual bolt out, and
Sure.
then took a screwdriver and slowly put a little pressure and worked my way around because you could just break that valve cover if you put all
Sure.
that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
wouldn't take much at
It's
all.
cast aluminum. Yeah, it just
Yeah,
shatters.
dude, it'll shatter. Those things were fused, so I had to get all those. Like this
Right.
is when sometimes like these lower mileage cars that never, had because when you
Hmm.
have high mileage, you're always changing out your valve cover. You're always doing that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
dude. It's
There's a reason why it made it to that mileage
right, and
because
it
it was maintained.
it was pouring oil, so it had never been like the whole fucking the
Yeah.
transmission's like soaked. It's just the whole side, but you can see. You always walk it back up to defy gravity. Go up your engine block, see where the oil comes from, and just,
Hmm.
right under that lip where the valve cover seals. If it's just a waterfall of oil, you got your culprit, dude. Every time.
Hmm.
People always panic. They're like, oh, it's my rear main. It's my fucking oil pan gasket.
Right.
No, dude, go up. Go. The oil
Gravity is
will not
undefeated.
usually go up. Yeah. So what a nightmare. But dude, just hammering those out and trying like one miss and you're just eating
Hmm.
valve cover. I'm sure they're available, but that wouldn't have been fun. But anyway, like this is one of those examples where a routine maintenance can become like
Hmm.
kind of a nightmare,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I could have easily
It's
like
old car problems.
right. If someone didn't know and they got a pry bar out and was started fucking putting all their
Yep.
weight on that, aluminum valve covers, dude. But
Or I
yeah,
mean,
just
it's not like the head's not aluminum either. Like,
exactly. Look, I mean, I took it off. That's the shitty part is that it wasn't a gasket that sits on two flush surfaces. It's a gasket that gets tucked up.
that's crazy. Like, anytime I've ever managed a cork gasket, it's been like flat service.
So
It
no,
hasn't
for
been
this
like
one, yeah, it's got
cut
the
in.
insert, it's got the
Mhm.
inlay, and then it has little places where the tabs stick out. So it's meant
Right.
to be pushed up in there. So it's the design of the car, and I've seen them before. But yeah, like on the old 5.0 Mustangs, they're just flat on
Sure.
flat, right?
Yeah, that's why it's cork instead of
Yeah.
rubber. Yeah.
But good Lord, prying a 30-year-old cork gasket, dude. Yeah,
Sick.
blasty. But that's what I did. I know it doesn't sound like much just doing a valve cover gasket, but dude, mission accomplished. And
Hell
it's
yeah.
good for another 30 years. So hell yeah, man.
That's
That's
right.
what I got up to. What'd you get up to, man?
Oh boy. I've got some parts
Ooh.
in route for the Focus
Mm.
SVT. So I've got valve cover gasket coming. I've got an axle coming. I've got the downstream O2. Okay, so here's the thing on the downstream O2.
Mm.
Rock Auto lists a Motorcraft downstream O2. It's like $38.
That seems
Great.
like the one to get, right?
I think it's like the one to get. Everyone is always
Mhm.
bitching on, like I did a splash of homework
Mhm.
where everyone's like, oh, on the O2 sensors, because these cars are notorious for just ripping through O2 sensors. Like they barely pass smog and then they throw codes and you got to replace them like for every 40,000 miles. It's just part of the
Shit.
deal.
Yep.
And it was like, oh no, you have to get them from the dealership. If you get one from elsewhere, it's going to be a Motorcraft part and it's actually going to be wrong. And I don't, it sounds like bullshit. And I decided to throw caution to the wind. Because here's the thing on Rock Auto, it doesn't say, like, you can't sort by SVT. You go Focus and it goes like 2 liter, 2.3, whatever, single overhead cam, twin overhead cam. And you go twin overhead cam, which was the Z Tech, but they made the modded Z Tech.
That's right.
And so they're saying, like, oh, it might be different if you, but for me, I was like $38. I'm just going to add it to my cart.
Yeah, roll those dice, dude. For
And
that
we'll
price
see.
point, yeah.
Right. And so
Dealer's going to charge you like $120.
right. And when we get sponsored by Rock Auto, they'll gladly take my return. But so I've got some parts coming. I priced out a windshield. A local guy. I'm going on a trip shortly to Norway. I'm gonna try and do Norway car spotting, which Norway is maybe the worst place globally to do that because it's all EVs and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm gonna do that. But when I get back, I'm gonna do the windshield. I got quoted $220 installed for the windshield.
Not bad, dude. That's good. That's good. That's real
Ford
good.
Focus Advantage, right? Like that's the part of owning a Ford Focus. It's like it's just a fucking Focus.
Yep.
All of this said, I need to make a somewhat sullen announcement when it comes
Aw.
to Project Car Progress. And you're aware of this because I talked through with you. I've also been what's the way to put it? Consulting is not right, but I'm going to say consulting. I've accosted our friends at the DWA rally because and I figured this out about a week ago. We're recording. By the time y'all's hear this, this is going to be well beyond when we found out. We're pre-recording a bunch of stuff because of the aforementioned trip to Norway. We're doing this whole thing with our $3,500 car challenge, and we bought cars for the rally. There is one weekend out of the year, basically, outside of this trip I'm about to go on, that I am unavailable for. And of course, that is the weekend that the DWA rally, the upcoming rally that I bought this mother effing car for.
Yep.
Yes. Me and my wife, and I'm taking my son. We are taking my son to a concert down at Hollywood Bowl, and it's going to be great. And we've got tickets 4 months ago for all of this, plane tickets and hotel room and all that shit. And I'm not going to be the dad who bails on that shit to go do stupid car shit with his friends. I'm just not going to do that. So what that means is I now own a car that I bought for an event that I can't attend.
Mm.
And so I still intend to see through this challenge where I've ordered the parts where I'm bringing this car back and keeping under the limit and whatever.
Mhm.
And I can't go. I still really, really, really want this faded orange Focus to run the rally in my stead. So how we're going to figure that out, I don't know. Maybe we'll do like write us a love letter and a lucky listener / viewer will get to have a spot on this rally and go.
Love that
or
idea.
Maybe it will just be like, we'll just keep in touch with the DWA guys. Lane and Warren and Art, all friends of the pod. And if somebody in the 11th hour, their car shits the bed and they need a car, they get to take the Focus. I don't know how we're going to navigate this. I am dead set on, even if I can't go, my ghost in this machine will go.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find out. I don't know. Before we fully put the cart ahead of the horse, I got to get the car sorted.
Yeah, we haven't.
So I'm gonna
we
do
haven't
that
officially started working on our rally cars yet.
Right?
So
Yeah, I've got. I did the easy part, which is like add to cart and hit order. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll figure this out. I'm bummed. I really like to go do hood rat shit with my friends. And I won't this time, which is fine. Like we'll be doing other valuable, worthwhile, fun stuff. So don't cry for me, Argentina. But like, I don't know. Maybe you will drive a shitty Ford Focus, dear listener. I don't know.
Either way, dude, it's gonna. I think we should definitely review both cars, cars before the rally anyway. So we will have that V50 versus Focus SVT matchup, and that'll be cool. We'll actually have numbers. We'll do this. We'll bust out the scales. I'm pretty sure you're gonna fucking hose me in curb weight. 0 to 60
800 pounds.
Well, yeah, probably right. I think 0 to 60 time the V50 should take that one pretty handily. But yeah, it'll be cool to see them up in the canyons where we do our fun reviews. So I think that should happen before we rally, and that'll be the cars getting to kind of face off, which is cool. Maybe we could do a little piece with both of us up there with our cars. That could be fun for the pod.
Hell yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we should definitely have them hang out. But yeah, I hope someone picks up the mantle, and because that car needs to run.
Yeah.
Both these 3,500 cars need to run. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm I don't know. I very much kind of to a fault, like silver lining, find a way to make broken shit be interesting kind of guy.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'm straight up unhappy that the planets aligned in a negative way for me. So I'm not going to be on the rally. I kind of like if this turns out to be like somebody goes on a rally, like I'm trying to think best case scenario. Like somebody goes their very first rally,
Yeah.
right? Or I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm trying to figure like I we've got time, I suppose, until the first weekend in October. Um, I don't know. We're gonna see if any of you guys have any suggestions or honorable mentions, or my cousin got hit by lightning and now they need some. I don't know.
That's
I'm trying to
that's a different SVT. Come on now.
yes. Um, yeah, I don't know. Chime in. I'm all ears. I'd like to figure out a way for us to make this work. Maybe we finally do the Patreon thing and like, well, lucky Patreon
Oh,
member will get to kill themselves in a book. I feel like I have to retract that part because just in case somebody does kill themselves in my car, I have to be like legally insulated from that.
It's always on the table, baby.
Yeah. We will figure it out, but I'm dead set in getting this car to run, and
Absolutely.
so we're gonna do it.
All right, let's shut this bad boy down. You want to take us home, man?
Oh God, I mean, not really. We're the podcast that you've been listening to. Oh. Another pointless automotive podcast. I'm Frank. I have my own bullshit, which is the photographer's garage, mostly Instagram, sometimes YouTube, rarely farmers only. How about you, Chadwick? Where what are you up to? What are you doing?
See those premium pics over at Frank's Instagram for sure.
Wiki feet.
So yeah, no, I got my own bullshit too, bro. Auto Obscure Garage on the YouTubes for all your rescues, restorations, and reviews. Mostly weird shit that no one should dump 40 to 50 hours into restoring. I'm your guy. I'm gonna take that piece of shit. I'm gonna lose a lot of money, and I get no labor rate. And that's what if you want to see that kind of bullshit, stop by. Hopefully soon, soonish, right? We'll have a Focus SVT squaring off a Volvo V50. Both cool reviews. These will be fun cars to see. Actually, I'm pretty excited to test these guys. But yeah, that's where I'm at. But again, keep listening to us. Feel free to review the podcast. Right, like we like that. That helps us get noticed. Tell your friends, your car enthusiast friends that like weird shit like we do. And we keep it pretty goddamn casual around these parts. YouTube, check us out on YouTube. Every episode is posted to YouTube. Check it out there. Subscribe. Check out our Instagram. We don't do anything there. But that's it. So fuck it. Let's go home, man.
That's right. Shut it down. Let's go home. Never pull out. Thank you for listening. Until next time.
On that. Love you guys. Take care.